Episode 29, my friend. Joy! So, new episode of the Guitar of Consciousness. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that. What a magical place we are here today, filming. So this series is about, my friends, we're going to be speaking about the tools, the questions, and the processes of Access Consciousness, and what Access Consciousness has done for me, and what it can do for you. It's a possibility of Access Consciousness contributing to you in a way you've never expected, ever. So these tools I'm going to bring up today is going to allow you to actually know something that you didn't know before. Like, if you're on here now, are you looking for a different possibility? You know, Access is about, you know, your difference is a capacity, is an ability that you can start actually using. So for me, creating the Guitar of Consciousness, you know, I did a few years beforehand. I started learning about Access. It came into my life, and I had my guitar on the side. My guitar music was on the side. Why was that? Well, my band just previously broke up, and so I put my guitar and all that on the side. So I started doing a bit of Access. The reason why? Well, I was kind of done. I was kind of done with everything. I was done with this reality. I'm like, I'm done here. I don't know where to go now. I don't know what to do anymore. I've had the greatest thing in my life that actually contributed to me actually growing and actually being excited about doing what I was doing with performing, and that went out of the window with the breakup of the band. And because that was my whole reality, that was my whole life. That was the only thing I was looking up to, and that went away. So I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of moving on now? What's the point of keep going? Is there any point of me? What do I do now? And I'm very grateful that Access was in my life at those certain situations. And so I kept going with Access. The reason why? Well, it stopped me thinking about the past. So the more and more I did Access, it stopped me thinking about what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday was, I was thinking about what happened with the band, that breakup and this and that. The more and more I did Access, I'm like, oh, the past is irrelevant. The past doesn't have to create my reality no more. And we'll get to the tools and the questions I used from Access. I'll give you a brief explanation what Access is. We'll get to that shortly. Though it allowed me to actually move my feet. I was in a period of being stagnant. I was in a period of going backwards. I was in a period of, is this the end for me? Where it allowed me to move forward. Just one step. At least it was one step. And then the other step went. Then the other step. So then at that moment, I'm like, you know, I'm really enjoying this Access stuff. I wasn't much of a speaker, my friends, beforehand. I wasn't much of a speaker. We did radio shows, and they put me up on the stand to speak, and I couldn't say anything. I really couldn't say anything. We had some shows from the United States, and I couldn't say anything. I just, you know, I was never a speaker. So doing this now, speaking with the Guitar of Consciousness, that was big. Episode 1 from the Guitar of Consciousness.
Savich, and I'm going to be doing a
you know, that was a 1 minute of me speaking. That was massive for me. That was massive. You know, I'm like, what am I going to say? You know, I've always been a guitarist. What am I going to say? You know, what are people going to listen to? So I'm like, all right, I've learnt a few things from Access. I'll give them a few things. And I did. And it was severely stressful doing that first episode. It was severely like unfamiliar. It was unfamiliar territory where's this going to lead? Where's this going to go? Though I did it. I created the first episode. So how did the Guitar of Consciousness get created? Well, in those times where I didn't know where to go, when I found Access and started doing those processes and questions and getting more clarity of who I am for once, getting more clarity of who I am for once, then I'm like, okay, I'm really enjoying this speaking. Though, what's going with the guitar? I've spent, I've had moments where I've played 10 hours of guitar in one day. And I did that heaps and heaps and heaps of days. I played till my fingers bled. I played to where my wrist was, I thought it was broken. So I put so much effort into the guitar. Like, where's that going to lead? What is this? What can I do with this? Then I asked the universe, because the Access is about asking questions. Asking questions. So I asked, okay, what is possible with my guitar playing? How can I use this guitar playing to exponentialize my life? How can I use my guitar playing to actually enjoy my life? And I started saying some names. I'm like, consciousness, access consciousness. I've got the guitar consciousness. And I goosebumps all over my body. I'm like, whoa, what is this? Like, what, and a thought come to my head. Do a video. And then doubt comes into your reality, like, oh no, you can't. Nah, that's not possible. I can't do it. I've always had the lead singer in the front. I always had the lead singer. I was in the background. I can't be in the show. That's not for me. I can't do that. But then Access said, Access taught me that me, we are the valuable product. I'm like, all right. If I'm the valuable product, then they're saying that you have to choose the valuable product. It's a choice. It's a choice. So I chose. I'm like, all right, guitar of consciousness. I'm going to film a first video, original piece of guitar, and I'm going to speak some tools, questions, what Access has taught me. And yes, it was severely frustrating, severely like the unfamiliar territory. Like, I didn't know what this was going to create. But I had this lightness at the end of the tunnel. I had this lightness. Like, it was like a whisper of awareness of what this is going to create. So I created it. I filmed it, posted it on YouTube. I'm like, whoa, what did I just create? Whoa. And that's the creation of the Guitar of Consciousness. And now, episode 29, joy. Like, whoa, the journey of the Guitar of Consciousness. It wouldn't be the journey of the Guitar of Consciousness if it wasn't for these tools of access. And now, what are the tools of access? Well, if you're a carpenter, if you're a carpenter, do you go to the job? Do you go to the site to build this structure? Do you go there without any tools? Do you take your saw? Do you take your nail gun? Do you take your hammer? Or the other technical, what carpenters have now is phenomenal compared to what they had, 20 years ago. Do they take all their stuff with them to build the structure? Yes, they do. They use the tools. But if that carpenter goes to the job without any tools, how does he do any work? He can't. So, same thing with access consciousness. If you don't use the tools of access, well, things can't change for you. So it's not saying that, okay, I'm gonna use the tools today and I'll be right forever. I'll be right now. No, like the carpenter, yes, he does a job today, he's got all these tools, but does his next job, of course, he's got to bring his tools again. And the next job, and the next job, and the next job. He's going to continuously use his tools. Same thing with access. Same thing the way I created the Guitar of Consciousness. I've always used the tools of, what's next? Okay, so from the first episode, I asked, what's going to take to outcreate? Outcreate, my friends, outcreate. This is massive in access. Have taught me to outcreate. Not to compete with this person, not compete with that musician out there, not to compete with this company, not to compete with this employee, not to compete with this other whatever. What would it take to outcreate myself? You are the only powerful being that can compete with. You are the only person that you can compete with. You. No one else can compete with you. Why will you? Because you're different. If you're still tuning in, you are different. And, you know, everything in this reality teaches you that, you know, your difference is a wrongness. How much wrongness has been put onto me that what I'm doing is a wrongness? Heaps, my friends. I've gotten it heaps. The only reason I keep going is because these tools of access. So I keep going. I keep creating. Access keeps saying, create your life. You know? Like with the topic, with the new song Joy, a question you can ask is, if you were creating your life from the joy of it today, what would you create right away? So I'm going to ask that again. Say it again. If you're creating your life from the joy of it today, what would you create right away? Have we been taught to create from the joy? Or have we been taught to create from the trauma, the drama, the upset, what this person is doing, what this person is not doing, what I'm supposed to do? Well, that's what I did. That's what I did before Access. So not wronging you. I did the exact same thing before Access. I'm like asking this person, asking that person over there, hey buddy, what do I do in this situation? And they come up to me like, what are you talking about? So if you have that same situation happen for you, you're going up to someone, you're rushing up to them like, what do I do here? And they're like, mate, I don't even know what I'm doing. How am I going to tell you what you're doing? You know, I'm in the same boat as you, my friend. So, you know, you've got to know what is going to work for yourself. When you start acknowledging that you are the valuable product, and I know that's going to bring up a lot of things for you. I know a lot of people out there now are going to be like, what the fuck is this Jake talking about? What's he talking about? You know, a lot of you are going to hate me. Why? Well, because I'm bringing up awarenesses for you that you can actually choose for you for once. And it is a big thing, choosing for you. It's a massive thing. You know, we've never been taught to choose for us. We've never been taught to choose the joy, have we? Have we ever been taught to choose the joy? Or anytime you do have the joy, and it lasts 5 minutes. Why? Because someone comes up to you and says, what drug are you on, mate? What's up with you? You're not normal. And what is the definition of normal? Like being like everybody else, fitting in and being like everybody else. Though that is not our natural state of being. We are infinite beings. And you can relate to that as like your soul. Though we are infinite beings, and infinite beings means that we are everywhere. And we've been and done everything. And being infinite space. So anything that like is a contraction in your life is pretty much a lie. Anything that feels like heavy, weighs you down, is a lie. You know, tool and access is what's light is true. What is heavy is a lie. And it's been tough on access, people that have been doing access for the past 30 years. You know, it's very wonky in that zone of what's light and what's heavy. A lot of people keep asking questions. How do I get more clarity on that? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, you're ugly. Does that make you feel heavy? Is that a contraction? Does that put you into a wrongness? Well, guess what? That is a fucking lie. All right? That's how you distinguish what is heavy. That's a lie. Okay, now what's light for you? What light is for you, you know, going for a bushwalk, going out in nature, looking up at the sun. You know, on a cold day, when you go out in the sun, how does that feel on your body? Sense that lightness. Well, the more and more we practice with that lightness, that's going to contribute to you actually choosing for like a certain choice, light and heavy. And then you have a lot more clarity on that choice. Though you have to practice with this, what's going to become easy for you? Like the simple stuff, going outside and enjoying the sunlight. That's light. That feels like, okay? Though if you do now, okay, I'm going to choose a massive choice, like, you know, am I going to go with this person? Or if I'm not going to go with this person, as like in, you know, going marriage, am I going to marry this person, not going to marry this person? If you're practicing this on that certain situation for your first time, well, you're tend not going to get it correctly. Practice on things that are more insignificant. You know, if I should eat this orange or don't eat this orange. Okay, so practice on things that are not so much more significant, and then you have more clarity. But that's what light and heavy is. Heavy is a contraction in the world. Anything that is a contraction is a lie. Anything that's light is a contribution. Though it doesn't mean, you know, light sometimes as well means that it's going to be unfamiliar. It's going to be like a path where you think, you know, like, should I go there? Should I not go there? Ask more questions in that situation. Like, if I choose to go down this path, what will my life be like in 5 years? If I don't choose to go down this path, what will my life be like in 5 years? And why ask that? Why the 5 years? Well, it goes past your mind. It goes past this logical mind that is a calculating system. And when you go beyond that, from your infinite being, well, then you can get the awareness of what that choice is going to create. So yes, it feels like a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit unfamiliar at the start, but then you ask that question, what's it going to be like in 5 years? Then there's like an ounce of lightness. It's like, and it has this excitement, this excitement energy comes. But then straight up like, I don't want to do that. But that, I don't want to do that, is pretty much to stop you from choosing what was actually going to work for you. So like filming today. We planned out to film in a certain different location. And that didn't work out. My camera guy, Dave, goes, this location's not going to work for us. Let's choose something else. And that's where it led us here. I mean, it wasn't far off. It was an extra half an hour drive. So look where we are now. He found out that location couldn't do the drone shots because they didn't allow it in that certain area. And lucky for Dave, he checked it out beforehand, before we got there. So I know that, you know, we always want to go to planning out, but sometimes the planning out doesn't work. I didn't get mad at Dave. I didn't get mad at my other crew. I'm like, you know, what else is possible here? What's really possible here that I haven't considered? You know, what contribution can I be or receive here that will allow more fun, more ease, more joy to show up in my life right away? I'm going to ask that question again. This question is, it's phenomenal. So what contribution can I be and receive that will allow more fun, more ease, more joy to show up in my life right away? So I asked these questions. And I didn't go into the wrongness. I didn't go into the frustration. Because if I did go into that, well, we wouldn't have been filming right now. But we are, because I kept asking the questions and I was an allowance of whatever occurred. You know, recording 29 episodes, my friends, it's not so much that, you know, now recording 29 episodes, everything's going to work out perfect. No, it's not about getting it perfect. Recording these episodes has never been about perfect. You know, I filmed an episode where it was a waterfall in the waterfalls, and that song was called Kindness. We'll put a short video there. that song was called Kindness, and we had to walk. You know, my mum and my sister. We had to walk about an hour with all the equipment to where we had to film, and we got there. And when we got there, there was people there. That loud music playing. And they're like, oh my fucking God. Where's the nearest cliff so we can fucking jump off? That's going to be an easier option. I'm like, oh my God, all this preparation, all this and that, and then there's people playing loud music there like hooligans. So we're like, you know what? We're going to ask some questions in this situation. What gift can these people to be me? What gift can I be to these people? I'm like, all right, let's just set up and whatever, how long they be here, how long they ever be here. We'll just wait until they go. So we started setting up. And when we forgot about it, we were kind of setting up and we kind of forgot about they were there. They packed up and went. Like, oh, I see you guys. And that was, maybe they packed up in about 20 minutes. You know, we didn't tell them to go, we didn't go up to them. We just did what we had to do. And when we lost the outcome that had to work out a certain way, well, they went on their journey. And we had our journey. And that's how that got created. So it's not so much that now I've created this amount of episodes, or I've done this much, now it's going to be perfect. Now I'm going to come to the complete conclusion that everything's going to work out. No, it's not the case. It's not the case. Asking questions. Asking those questions, what contribution can I be or receive here? So we're not being taught in this reality to receive, have we? You know, we haven't been taught to receive. Reason for that is because, you know, to keep us like everybody else. To keep us, you know, fit in. What category, you know, like musicians out there, what category is your music? You know, what genre do you play? When people come up to me and ask me what genre do I play, I'm like, whatever genre you want it to be, it can be for you. I don't tell them what genre. I don't even know what genre my music is. You know, whatever genre you want it to be, whatever. That's your life. So I don't put myself in a category anymore. Reason why? Is when I did put myself in a category, my life wasn't working. My life wasn't working when I was putting myself in a category. And that's what this reality is based upon. What category are you in? So, you know, what are the infinite possibilities for you? What are the infinite possibilities? What are the infinite possibilities that you haven't even asked for, that are available? And yeah, I've got a cool exercise. I've got a cool exercise that you can use, like a home plate. And if you re-listen to this over and over, you'll get the energy of what this is going to create for you. I'm very grateful for the founders of Access showing me this home play, this like kind of challenge type thing to kind of use. Okay, so this works energetically. So you don't have to logically think how this works for this to work. It works energetically, and we are energetic beings. A natural state is energy. So it works even though you don't think it works. Okay. If you had $100 million right away that renewed itself annually, what would you choose? Again, if you had $100 million right away that renewed itself annually, what would you choose? I'm going to give you a moment. And you're like, okay, could you think about more than three things to do? Pay off your debt, get a new car, get a house, and then, are you hearing crickets? Why is that? Well, in this reality, we haven't been taught to choose. We haven't been taught to choose more than 3 things. So debt, house, car, and that's about it. For me, I'll buy property that has been destroyed all over the world. I'll be starting buying properties and, planting trees on there. Or doing stuff that, allow that piece of land to actually flourish, to thrive. Instead of, access is about contributing to the earth, my friends. It's always about taking from the earth. It's never actually gifting back to the earth. So asking that, if I had $100 million every year, and it kept renewing itself after every year, what would you choose? Once you get over the 3 little choices that you would choose, what other choices would you do? What company would you purchase? Would problems cease to exist in your universe? And I know a lot of you will be like, you love your problems. I loved my problems before. Why? Because then you get to play the victim card. You get to be a victim, like, oh, this happened to me. Then I get to have my story, tell my story to everyone. So I did that for the majority of my life, the story and this and that. Well, it didn't work, my friends. It didn't work. We'll do shows with the band. It was phenomenal. And then we didn't do a show for the next 6 months. And then we did another show. And then something occurs. The drummer's got to do this. The bassist, this occurs. The singer's this. Everything kept coming up. Why? Because I wasn't asking the questions. I wasn't asking, what's going to work here? Can I really work with these people? Are they on the same platform where I am? And, oh well, there's a little lizard just walking down on the rock. So a little lizard has showed itself in the presence of this episode. And that's the thing with consciousness. The more you choose consciousness, the more the beings out there actually contribute to you where you never thought they could contribute to you. This camera has a 30-minute stoppage. And I told Dave, tell me until when to stop so we can re-record. And at that moment, I saw the lizard. And it gave me a great point to know when I stopped and when I didn't stop. I'm like, okay, when I stop this, I know that it's at the lizard part. So when you're in touch with the consciousness, it's even been scientifically proven that consciousness is in everything. Even the solid parts of your building. They look under the microscope and things are moving in there. Things are moving, but it's solid. How does that occur? Things are moving, there's space, there's stuff in there. The molecules. So things can contribute to you that you never thought can contribute to you. So I'm going to give you the 10 Commandments of Access. Just to give you a brief kind of knowing of what access is about. So the 10 Commandments of Access, and you can get a book. We'll put the book right there. Bianx, my worldwide coordinator of the Guitar of Consciousness. She does my editing for the filming. She's done everything for Guitar of Consciousness websites and Jake Savich website and everything to do with online stuff. She's a brilliant. And she does Access Bars classes. She's an Access Bars facilitator. If you want to get an Access Bars class, put an Access Bars class thing there. Contact my sister. She's fucking awesome. So this book, created by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, 10 Keys to Total Freedom. And I read this book. I read this book when I was learning in the first few years of doing Access. I never read books before. I hated books. Remember, I wasn't much of a speaker. I couldn't speak. Why? Because I didn't learn anything in school. I don't know what the fuck anyone was teaching me. So I couldn't really read properly. But when Access came along, I forced myself. Why? Well, every time I read this book, I feel like there was peace in my life where I never had peace before. So that's the reason why I read this book, 10 Keys to Total Freedom. And I read that book, I read this. There's about 20, 30, even 40 different books in Access now that you can read. And the more and more I read that peace came into my life, that joy started appearing into my universe, even if it was just 1 or 2 steps. It was something, my friends. So the 10 commandments of Access is number 1. Would an infinite being, would an infinite being choose this? And like, would an infinite being choose this? Like, would an infinite being truly choose upset? Would an infinite being choose to be angry? Would an infinite being choose to have no money? No. An infinite being is everywhere, has all capacities. Number 2, everything is just an interesting point of view. So everything is just an interesting point of view. So if you can function your life from everything being just an interesting point of view, well, anything is possible. Nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. What is left? Total choice. You know, you have this choice, you have that choice, you have this choice. And if an ugly choice shows itself, yes, ugly choices will show themselves. Use that question. And that will give you clarity where you've never had clarity, my friends. Number 3, live in 10-second increments. Live in 10-second increments. What is that? Well, a choice is only good for 10 seconds. You know, we've been taught that if we hold on to this choice, I have to hold on to that choice forever. That's the only choice I've got. You know, and we go down that path. We go down that path like, oh, that's the only choice I can have. No. For me, now, if I make a choice and I don't like the way it's turning out, I'm like, you know what? Bye-bye choice. I have another choice. So that's what living in 10-second increments is. Choose this, choose that. I'm going to go up to this. I'm going to smell this flower. I'm going to go over here to smell that flower. Now I'm going to go smell this one. And now go here. Now go there. That's choosing 10-second increments. Practice like that, and then you'll get more clarity of the choices that are a lot more significant for you. So number 4, live as the question, not the answer. The question empowers, the answer disempowers. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to get used to, my friends. You know, we've been taught from what? Primary school, or even our parents, that we have to get it right. You know, we have to get the right answer. If you don't get the right answer, everything's going to fail. Well, how's that working for you? Getting the right answer. Well, it wasn't working for me. As soon as I'm like, you know what, I don't have to get things right anymore. I don't have to be perfect. You know, I used to film my Guitar of Consciousness audio with me on location. I had waves in the background, had wind in the background of the audio. People commented, oh, what's you got so much wind in the background, mate? I didn't make it wrong. I'm like, all right. It's just like, what else can I choose now? So that eventually led me to recording in the studio. Now I record the songs in the studio. Though it's not a wrongness that, you know, you have the journey of the Guitar of Consciousness now, like you have to create from episode 29 for yourself. It doesn't work like that. By me practicing from episode 1 to now, it got to me to where I am now. But if I think that I have to have episode 29 be episode 1, well, you're never going to get there. You know, it was a long journey to get where I am now. And when looking back now, I'm like, whatever happened, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everything that occurred and happened. Why? Well, again, it got to me where I am now. So always ask the question. Number 5, no form, no structure, no significance. Again, you know, like planning out. Things have got to be the way it's that I've thought it has to be. And if it doesn't, and then the significance. If it's not the way that I thought it's going to be, fuck this, I'm done. You know? Well, it never works out the way you think it's going to work out. So the significance, what would it take to go beyond the significance? What would it take to go beyond the significance? Now let's add the clearing statement of access. So we're going to put down here, Bianx. We're going to put down here the clearing statement of access consciousness. And you can go there to further know what this is. There's a short part and a long part. So everywhere we're going to the significance, POC and POD, POC and POD, and 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 POC and POD. I gave a brief explanation on previous episodes, though we don't need to do that on this one. So POC and POD and POC and POD, the significance, POC and POD and POC and POD, or the longer version of the clearing statement, right, wrong, good, bad, POC and POD, all night, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And what does that do? Well, it lets go of the significance. It lets go of having to plan things out and having to things be perfect. It brings that up energetically, and all you have to do is think of a certain situation that is been bugging you. Get the energy of that, and do the POC and POD and POC and POD and POC and POD and POC and POD and POC and POD. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC and POD, all night, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And after doing it a few times, you'll sense that situation having ease in that situation. You'll have a sense of your barriers being pushed down in that situation. And then that's where you can create a lot more easier. So number 6, no judgment, no discrimination, no discernment. You know, judgment is a destroyer in your life. Judgment isn't a creative energy. You know, all judgment is destroys. You know, again, science has proven that if you yell at a plant, it shrivels up and dies. A single plant. If you yell at this plant, hey, plant, you're so ugly, you're shit, why are you growing so slow? It starts dying. But if you're like, oh, whoa, how much have you grown today, plantsies? You're looking vibrant today. How much more can you grow? Isn't that more of a expansive energy? And it's, yes, scientifically proven that it does grow more. So imagine what our judgment is doing to the planet worldwide. If one single plant gets affected by one person's judgment, imagine what it's doing the whole world. Well, that's why there's wars. That's why there's conflict. That's why people can't get along. So what you can do in that situation, everyone judging myself or everyone judging others, POC and POD and POC and POD and POC and POD. All the judgment that brings up POC and POD and POC and POD. Everywhere I have been trained to judge, no matter what the circumstances are. POC and POD that, POC and POD, POC and POD, POC and POD and POC and POD. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC and POD, all night, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And the discrimination, the discernment, same thing. POC and POD that, POC and POD, POC and POD and POC and POD. Now, what's really possible? So the next one, no competition. And there is no competition, my friends. The only competition out there for you is yourself. You are the only... You are, see? Laughing with competition, has that ever occurred before, my friends? You know, not everybody's about, you know, competition is like, but Jake's like laughing with competition. Well, why? Because that's the true lightness. There should be true lightness with competition, because there is only one person that you can compete with, is you. Why? Well, you are so unique. You are so different. There's the only you out there. Okay? So there's no one can compete with you. Whatever you're creating, just ask yourself, what can you do to outcreate yourself? And by you asking that, what you can do to outcreate yourself, well, then you will get the awareness. It might be in an hour, it might be tomorrow, it might be in a year's time, though you will get the awareness of what is actually what you have to do to outcreate yourself. What you have to be to outcreate yourself. You'll get the awareness. It'll come to you. Okay, so yeah, that was the competition. And then the next one, no drugs of any kind. And a lot of you are like, oh, that Jake's guy's on drugs, he's jumping up on signs. I'll put some sign where I've jumped up on some signs. You're like, oh, he's on drugs. Well, you know, rock star type of guy, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, that's a typical way of, you know. Though, Access taught me that when you are on drugs, you know, certain energies, certain beings can attach themselves to you. And I'm like, that fucking freaked me. I'm like, what? Certain things can attach themselves to me when I'm on drugs. When I got the awareness of that, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not fucking going next to that. As in a sense, like one day you're like, you got motion, you're like, yes, today's awesome. And then flick of a switch, you feel like shit. Well, that's what drugs can do for you. You know, once you're in a great mood, and then bang, you complete disaster. That's what drugs do to you. So drugs, no drugs of any kind. Yes, you can still do alcohol and this and that. But if you do drink to oblivion, again, certain energies can attach themselves to you to fuck you over. So if I do, I had a drink beforehand, before filming. I didn't have a whole carton or a whole case to say I'd fall off the cliff here. So drink what your body requires. I didn't drink one drink. You know, on an empty stomach. And it feels like I've had 10 drinks and I feel awesome. You know, though I have complete clarity of what I'm doing. So do what works for you. You know, we keep reliving the same life we've always lived every single day. How's that working for us doing this? How about we choose something different for once? Okay, the next one. Never listen to, tell, or buy the story. And, you know, like, when people come up to you and they're like, blabbing your story to you, don't you just want to get the fuck away from that person? You don't want to listen to this person's story. You're like, oh, I've got my own shit going on. But then how can you keep telling people about your story? When other people tell you about your story, you don't want to listen to it. Same thing. The more and more I stop telling the story of what I have to do, what I've done, or what had like what happened to me in the morning. Now I have to go to tell everybody what happened when I see people later that day. When I stopped the need of having to tell people what happened, my life, I had clarity in my life I've never had clarity. And I know it's tough. I know it's so. This energy comes up like, oh, I want to share this information. I've got to share this information to the whole world. Everybody's going to know that, you know, this occurred to me. This happened. But whenever you tell that person, they're like, yeah, so. And you're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, huh? So that didn't work for me. That didn't work for me. And when I got over the need that I have to share my information, like when I'm walking down the street or going to the shops or getting something, I don't walk out and, if someone asks me, like I don't blab out there, oh, I'm the Guitar of Consciousness guy, I got this, you should check out my YouTube channel, subscribe here, this and that. I don't tell no one, nothing. Until they ask. Because I did that beforehand. I did that with my band. I did that with my band Deep Cast. And I'm like, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my stuff. They never did. They never checked it out. They didn't give a fuck. Why? Because I was pushing that energy. I was pushing that energy out. When you push so much energy out, everyone gets that uncomfortableness that pops something in their head. They're like, fuck, I want to get away from this person. And that's what happened to my majority of my whole life. No one wanted to listen to my music. It doesn't matter how fucking phenomenal it sounded, no one wanted to listen to it. And now when I'm like, if you listen to it, if you don't listen to it, I couldn't give a fuck. I really couldn't give a fuck. And then they come up to me, and other people come up to me like, oh, what do you do? And sometimes, even then, I don't tell them. I'm like, I'll play some music, but you're going to have to check it out yourself. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because, you know, I haven't got time for that. You know? So, never listen to it, tell by the story. And when you have more clarity in that, then life becomes easier. Life really becomes easier when you don't have to push so much energy out there. How about like, instead, like those car salesmen. When a car salesman comes to you, you're like, oh fuck, the car salesman's coming to me. It's like a great white shark coming to me. How do I get away from this person? You know? Same thing, you push that energy out there. Instead of be like, you know what? If these people come to me, if they don't, I'm going to still be me. No matter what. I'm going to still be me, even if they come to me, if they don't come to me. And then the next one, no exclusion. No exclusion. So, include everything. Include everything with no point of view about it. Include everyone include everyone with no point of view. That's what no exclusion is. So just say, even if you don't like certain people, still include them into your reality with no point of view of what they've done. When you can have no point of view when people hate you and still include them into your universe, that's no exclusion. And then, because you know what? Maybe their hatred towards you is the contribution they're trying to give to you. Maybe by these people sending their hatred to you, maybe that's a contribution to you stepping the fuck up. Maybe that's a contribution to you like, you know what? Now's the time for me to change. So them being angry at you was a contribution. You're like, that's it, I'm changing now. I'm going to do whatever it takes to go around this, to change where I haven't been able to change. And you're like, see, when you come to the awareness of that those hatred towards those people towards you is actually a massive contribution. Massive contribution. You know, I've had heaps of people, you know, when I'm performing, they come up to me like, I want to fucking knock you out. You know? But I didn't buy into that. I didn't buy into that they had more power than me. Look, okay, this person wants to fight with me, so what? I pulled all that energy through me. I pulled that energy through me. Instead of being like the car salesman, you know, pull that energy through us. So then they run out of steam. You pull their energy through you, and it keeps going. They run out of steam. And they'll get over it. They'll get over it in a few minutes. Or seconds. For me it was seconds. Because I practice. I practice with this person, practice with this person, practice. And then eventually, if someone is angry at me, they get it over within a few seconds. And I get over it in a few seconds. Where before it was life-changing. So I think I got all the 10 Commandments of Access. If I missed one, well, whatever. But yeah, that's the 10 Commandments of Access. That's what Access is truly about, my friends. If that's for you, choose it. If it's not for you, don't choose it. It's all your choice. I'm not here pressuring you to choose. I'm like, here are the possibilities. If you choose it, if you don't choose it, well, that's what it is, my friends. And big thanks to Dave, my photographer. Dave Collins will put a photo on there, Dave Collins Photography. And I'm very grateful for him being on he started from episode, from being you. he came on the shoot. And, you know, he really exponentialized the Guitar of Consciousness to doing the drone shots. And like, wow! And, you know, always adding more. So I'm very grateful you came to keep recording new episodes. And, you know, what else is truly possible? What can you keep adding? What can you keep adding to your business, to your company, to your job, to actually enjoy it? You know, that joy. What would it take to have more of that joy coming into your world? I'd like to say big thanks to my worldwide coordinator, Bianca Savich. She used to have Bianca Frendo, but her name's Bianca Savich now. So, yeah, she does all my business sides of stuff. She gets so much work she's done for me. It's incredible. She got the fabric. She picked up the fabric for this vest and picked up the buttons. You know, I used to do that myself, but Access taught me lose control of your business, lose control of your company. And in this episode, like all the other episodes, I usually get all the outfit myself. I usually go to get the fabric and this and that. I run around and get all that done. I'm like, Bianca, you know, it was uncomfortable for me. It was unfamiliar territory. I'm like, you know, you choose it. And she picked up this fabric. I'm like, and I saw it. I'm like, it's fucking awesome. Whoa. So it's not saying that we have to always control the situation. And she does bars classes. So we'll put up another bars class, upcoming bars class she's been doing. And in that bars class, like when I first did my bars class, you know, it's an 8-hour class. You know, you receive the bars and you gift the bars. Receive the bars and gift the bars, like 4 sessions in one day. And you have that facilitator there. You know, you can ask them questions. How can I have clarity this? What question should I ask here? What is this about? What's Access about? And they'll give you clarity. So she's doing bars classes. She puts ones all over Australia. And my mum, gosh darn it, Savich. She's been here from day one for my filming. Even from back in filming when I first started playing the guitar. Even when I first started playing the guitar, I didn't think I was any good at playing guitar. But she always used to come up to me like, what were you playing there? I'm like, I'll just play some. I didn't think any big deal of it. I didn't know I had any talent with the guitar. I thought I was like, I'm just playing the guitar. I don't know what I'm playing guitar for. I didn't know I could play anything good. But she kept coming up to me and said, you know, I really enjoyed this song. I'm like, huh? All right. And she kept, every new song I created, she always kept coming up and saying, oh, what's this new piece? What's that new piece? And that kind of gave me the, you know, to like keep going with my music. Keep going. And she really loved my song, Blue Heart. That was episode 2 in this series. And, you know, I had no big deal about it. I didn't think this song was anything good. I was like, this is just a song. But her reaction and because she had the reaction that it was so fucking phenomenal, other people had that. Like, whoa, maybe I am valuable. And that's where I started making myself valuable, is when I started creating these songs and people coming up to me like, this is fucking awesome. I didn't go up to them and said, how do you like my music? No, I just played it. If they heard it, if they didn't hear it, they will come up to me when they come up to me, when it felt good for them to come up to me. I never when every single time I went over to tell someone about do I like this or they don't like this, they never gave me what I desired. So you're gonna have to just allow it to come when it comes. So I'm very grateful for my mum being in my life. She's filmed the majority of the Guitar of Conscious episodes, and you know, I think I got an ant down my pants. Thank you, the shirt maker, Charles. Charles, shirt makers in Castle Hill. We'll put his logo, his name there I like to thank Newtown Buttons for, you know, they got all sorts of, like, whoa, looks like gold bars, you know, like how cool is that? So Newtown Buttons, thank you for that. Put that little picture there. I'd like to thank the studio. We went to a new studio this time. Stuart, the engineer, thank you Stuart, and his Symphony Productions. That was in Neutral Bay. So thank you, grateful for the people in the studio. I'm grateful for all the people that actually contributed to getting this production on the line. This next, there's so many different people that actually contribute to the Guitar of Consciousness. You know, there's too many people to actually thank. So I'm so grateful. And, you know, this is the first episode we added a violinist. Like, whoa. You know, we never have the series right. It's not about that. You know, I've had a few comments saying, "Oh, it's got a violinist in it now." You know, it's never about getting it right. You know, I paid her for the session, and I done a video on social. If you haven't seen, maybe put a short video there of her playing in the studio. And when she was playing, when I met her in the studio, you know, it was phenomenal. I was like, whoa. When she started playing, I had tears in my eyes when she was playing. I'm like, because she was there like, I'm here for you, Jake. Whatever you desire for me to play, I'm going to do that for you. If you want this, if you want that, if you want to change this, change this. And she was so fucking professional, so professional. I'm like, you're so professional. And she's like, I'm not professional. Well, what are you talking about? You know, the way she played, it was out of this world. So I'm very, very grateful for her. So her name was Monique. Thank you, Monique. And thank you for everything, everyone that I missed for that have contributed to the Guitar, because I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video. Show your friends. And what's next? What is next for the Guitar of Consciousness? Well, I'll tell you. The next episode is episode 30. And that is going to be Sky. Sky is going to be next episode of the Guitar of Consciousness. And I have a short clip of that on social. We might put it up here. So episode 30 is Sky. So where universe? Where does the universe require of me to film Sky episode? And that's the thing I asked to keep outcreating each episode. Okay, what would it take to outcreate this episode? With this new episode, Sky, where would the planet require me to be? Which studio is going to contribute to the next filming? What outfit is going to contribute to the next filming? What's going to bring me joy with the outfit, with the filming, with the audio, with the people I meet? What other instrument can we add? Can we add a saxophone, or what else can we add? Who knows? You know? The adventure awaits. You know, so who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventures am I wanting to have, be, and receive? Until next time, my friends. Until next time. I'm very grateful. Thank you.